Hey everyone, it's Agent Mead from Delta Tactical. In this video, I'm going to answer some viewers' questions. I've gotten a lot of excellent comments and a lot of very, very good questions in the last 2.5 weeks. So I thought I'd circle back and answer some of the questions that I've already answered in the comments, but perhaps not everybody reads the comments. So with respect to the daily resource run, which was the first video that I posted 2 weeks ago, the comment that I got was, at the beginning of the route between the building and the campsite in the woods is a black resource crate hanging in the trees. I'm on top of that building. It's the souvenir shop. And if you can't see it from here, but where that parachute is hanging in the trees is the resource crate.
Hostile broadcast picked up.
Yeah, it's right up there. I've already gotten it on my way through to get here, but if you shoot it once, it will drop on the ground, and it is poly, steel, and titanium, I think. I'll have to go back and have another look at it a little bit later. One of the other questions that I've gotten is, when you get to the souvenirs shop, if that door is not open, how do you get in? What you have to do, and for me, this door is now unlocked because I unlocked it on my original character way back when. Once you've unlocked it with one of your characters, my understanding is this door will be open from that point forward. What you want to do is go to this pallet, look through the window, shoot that lock, open the side door. When you come in, there will be a lock on these doors. You would shoot that, and they will be open from that point forward. If they're not, like I said, all you have to do is go in through the side door. One other comment I got on this video was the 1040 Safe House area is better than the shop area around it. When I did the 2 runs, I actually got more resources from this run, which is not to say that the 1040 area is not worthwhile going to have a look at. It does have some resources that this area does not. This one tends to be heavy in water, where the other one is heavier in food, so it honestly depends on what you're looking for. But in terms of total quantity of resources on my character when I finish the run, this run has slightly more. They're pretty close. One other advantage of the other one is you still have an opportunity to get the loot goblin in front of Jefferson Trade, and there's a possibility of getting the snitch in that area as well, so you can find out where Cassie Mendoza is. Could you tell me what is the logic behind not buying the blueprint to share resources, and when do you buy it? So on this run through, I decided to purchase all of them or both of them. Once you've purchased from Anaya the shared account blueprints, it clears most of the list. The only 2 that were remaining at that point were the shared account resources and this quest one. I don't bother with it because I'm not going to end up keeping this character.
I'll catch you later.
With the shared resources, in this particular case, you can see that I've got a fair number of resources that are already on here. The advantage of not purchasing it at this point is, you can see as an example with titanium, I've already got 8305. While I'm running this character through, if I get a lot of titanium, I can actually hit the cap of 9,999. If I wait to purchase it, and then buy it after I get finished with Warlords of New York, come back to Anaya in Washington, and then purchase it, if the sum total of this character and my existing pool of resources exceeds 9,999, it will actually go over the cap. It will not allow, it won't void resources. So I've seen examples from other content creators online where they've had 20,000 plus resources in these various categories, and that includes your receiver components and your protective fabric. So when to purchase it depends on what your existing pool actually looks like and your intention behind what you're trying to do. If you have a high watch level and you know that you're going to want to push the resources past the 9,999 cap, purchase the blueprint after you've done your run and after you've used up all the resource or the scavenge points in your new character. If you're a low watch level or your resource pool is not that high, it doesn't matter. You can purchase it now like I've done. I did it so I had access to some of the components so that I could craft the blueprints for some of the gear mods that I like to run while I do Warlords. It's a nice to have, not a need to have, as has been pointed out in the comments. This is absolutely not required. Similarly, it is absolutely not required that you start at level 1, boost to level 30, and then go to Warlords. You can start directly at Warlords, and it's an easy DLC to run without doing this. The longer I play, the more I appreciate the mods that I've already gotten or that I have, and I like to use them. And that's basically my reasoning behind doing what I do. One other comment, and it's one thing that I'm trying with this one, is start a new character at level 1, get to the White House, then boost to level 30, and then do the weekly project donation to get the exotic component or the exotic. So if I open the map, go to projects, I've already started this. I'm still working on the donate food. Once I finish this donation requisition, it will give me a weekly exotic. So this is certainly something you can do on any new character. It's another option for you. Is it required? No. Can you? Yes. All right, so I'm back at the White House after some grinding for food. I had to hit 2 more places to find enough. Once I open my map, you can actually go to projects. You don't have to go upstairs to the projects table. You can do it directly from your map. I now have enough to complete this project. So we're opening the exotic cache that I've just received, and I got a Ridgeway's Pride, which is really not a bad drop at all for this run through Warlords. So I'm going to deconstruct all the things I've gotten so far. Oh, I've got contractors. We're going to put those on. They're not fantastic rolls, but they're good. Now, one thing to bear in mind is these are level 30. They're not going to last very long through the run through Warlords, but they're nice to have. I did not point out in the expertise video that proficiency is a category, which means that once you become proficient for a weapon, as an example, all of that type of weapon are now proficient. I've got 3 FAMAS in my inventory, 2 of which have expertise applied, 1 does not. Using the one that does not have expertise applied as an example for how to do the upgrade, it's going to use 235 steel, 150 titanium, and 300 receiver components. As long as you have the required components, all you have to do is press and hold space to do the upgrade. It gives you expertise level 1, which is a 1% weapon damage increase. For the FAMAS with expertise level 7, you can see it's going to use slightly different components, and that happens at expertise level 5, things start to change. Again, I'm going to do the upgrade, and then I go 1% more weapon damage to level 8. Past expertise level 10, the componentry starts to become very expensive, including exotic components. I only have 4 exotic components in my resource stash or in my inventory, so I'm not going to apply the upgrade at this time. But this is what would be required in order to upgrade it to 14. I did mention in the video that you can equip more than 1 gear piece to speed up the proficiency ranking process for gear. You can do the same thing with weapons. Right now I'm equipping 2 ACS-12s. If I was to equip these and go use them, as I gain kill XP, it would be applied to both, or it would be applied randomly to one or the other, which increases the rate at which you gain proficiency. For the final question on the list, someone said they tried this build, and this would be my favorite build. Have I thought about the Picaros instead of the Bellstone? So pause the video as I go, because I'm flipping through the items quickly, and I'm flipping through the stats quite quickly. So pause the video as required. The armor regen was coming from the Bellstone piece. That's my total armor. And then you can look and see what the pieces were in the build. Switch to the Picaros and go back to the stats. The weapon damage has gone up. There is no longer any immediate armor regen. The armor total for the build is the same. I'm still going to end up getting 3% armor regen from the Memento backpack once it's fully stacked. Now, what I'm going to do as well is pick some different pieces that happen to be in my inventory to change the total weapon damage, reduce the armor down to about 1.3 million, and try and keep the crit chance at around 50, but I will be upping the crit damage from 80 all the way up. I don't remember what I ended up with. But that's basically all that I'm doing. I'm swapping pieces and adding mods as I go. The two pieces you're going to want to keep in this are the Uzina backpack, because it's got perfect spotter on it, so you're not going to want to change that. And I would recommend that you hang on to the memento. Other than that, everything else is swappable with this build. You're going to see a lot that I change mods on the weapon to keep the around 50% crit chance as I go through this to try and increase my crit damage. What I've found as I've played this game and tested things in the range and just by feel when I'm out in the field is 50% is pretty much the sweet spot. Anything higher than that is better, especially if you're playing with an AR. It's very easy to get to the crit chance cap of 60%. Often when I'm playing in a group, I'm going to be playing with someone who happens to have a Coyotes mask, so it's going to boost me instantaneously from anywhere from I've got some builds where I put it on purpose at 45%. Because I'm playing at Coyotes and I know I'm going to be playing at range. And the long range buff will take me from 45 all the way up to 60%. So I'm just going through what I have in my inventory and swapping pieces, and we'll see what the numbers are when I get to the other side. So we went from 50% and 50% crit chance and 80% crit damage to 49% crit chance and 108% crit damage. The weapon damage went from, I think it was 98, up to considerably higher than that. So I have played both versions of this. Now, one caveat, and this has been mentioned a couple times in a couple of different comments, is with my watch level, if you're not above watch level 1000, your numbers will not be the same as mine. The advantage you have when your watch level is over 1000 is you've got 50 out of 50 in all these. So you've got 10% weapon damage, 10% headshot damage, 10% critical chance, 10% critical damage for the weapon side. For this side, you've got 10% more health, 10% more armor, 10% more explosive resistance, 10% of hazard protection, better accuracy, better stability, better reload speed, and better ammo capacity, all by 10%. And then for the skills, skill damage, skill repair, skill duration, and skill haste. Those are the buffs you get when you get your watch level past 1000. Now, the last comment that's in here is my favorite comment from the week. I like to play the drinking game where every time he says or I take a shot. Currently in the bathtub so I don't drown.
An agent needs assistance.
Be careful, agent. So that's a wrap on episode 1 of Viewers' Comments. Hope you've enjoyed the content. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. If you've liked the content, please like, share, and comment as it does help the YouTube algorithm. Thanks for watching.